So the first couple of poems I'm going to recite this evening are from two of the poets that will be appearing in this year's Festival of Words. The first one is by Luis Alberto Urrea. It's called Balloons. You knew Tijuana's hills. I was new to the dirt mystery of those streets, the steep arroyos. You knelt beside its La Casa. You called the meat hamburguesa. Ground beef, 10 cents for a pound. I looked up at you, handsome, up to you. You were black against the sun. You knew karate. You had rifles that blew pigeons, heads to gray, feather spray. You tipped the metal jar and filled balloons. I laughed beside you, wrapped the meat around the red, always red. Yeah. This next one is by Ava Leavell Haymon. It's called Milktooth. He said if I didn't poke my finger and my tongue in the hole, the new tooth would grow in solid gold. He was pumping gas as I was lolling on the floorboard, 1 foot out the open car door, drowsy in the smell of grease and old rubber, rainbows glancing off oil spots on the hot pavement. It was noon and probably June, and we always went to the same filling station. My father returned from the tiny office, jiggling change, much obliged, but always said as the engine caught, dread in the momentum of the old green Buick, pulling out, push me, rolling against the back seat, because I'd already done it. The porcelain wall breached, uncornified flesh, squishy, wounded, salty, and he'd know as soon as he saw the new white tooth. Alright, so that's what you're going to expect to hear at the Festival of Words this year. But this last piece is akin to what you've been hearing all evening. Spoken word. I teach talented theater in Vermilion Parish, and this was written by one of my students, Trinity Broussard, 16 years old. This is called There Is a War. There is a war going on in my city, and the law gives us backlashes after lash if we dare mention the truth of it all. Who to call when all 911 says is hold please, as if my fingers aren't holding what is left of the life of my brother who got shot like a dog for standing tall in his front yard. There is a war going on in my city, and the only thing worse than being given nothing is being given pity. Congress parades facts about life and say, forget the strife that we are now one, but together we grow older as my brother trades his freedom to become a soldier. America the brave still fears the idea of change, but will allow a black man into office. There's nothing new about turning a man's job into his coffin. And yes, I know politics is a grave way to go, but there is a war in my city. And my sons and daughters will be drafted, fed putrid ideas that were crafted by the same men who gave into the agonizing wails of the sacred. Damn, and they dare mention the voices of those forgotten. There is a war going on in my city, and the bodies are now rotten. You claim dogfighting is illegal, but look at what you've done to your people. Give us freedom of speech and freedom of religion, but in the same breath have made it your mission to end anything or anyone against this war which you are for. I see politicians sell their souls to crack whores who are so diseased. I can see why our country is so sick. No cure for a country that feeds on itself for survival, its self-mutilation. You politicians thrive on. Where is the beauty in a life that can never be lived? Told to be sold to the highest bid. So I watched her stand on the corner and make the hustle happen. There is a war going on in my city. It's no longer brother against brother, but sister against friend. It's our city fighting this country who weakly gave in. It's absurd how they rewind to the past and fine dine on finely yelled memories instead of feasting on the pictures of the present. It is a gruesome image, but at least it's real. How still must the city be for you to see there is no life here, and you wonder why we call ourselves the living dead? My skin may not be deteriorating, but I can't say the same for the mind of all mankind. There is a war going on in my city. It's far from pretty because all color has been drained from the now ashen place. What a disgrace. I can't walk outside without my bulletproof vest because they kill even the best and most innocent in this war. I cry for my brother, whose first word was not mother, but gun. Society has destroyed the innocence and imagination of our sons. Where is the love truth? I swear we go tongue-tied and see girls die for a chance to save the day, but Wonder Woman isn't going to change a thing. Superman is as fictitious as the worst piece in the streets. There is a war in the Ville, in the sticks in the slums, and it's recruiting everyone who won't exclude the young. There is a war in my city, and although you can't see it, I know you believe it. There is a war going on in my city, and it's caused doors to be slammed in the faces of its many. It's caused brothers to turn on brother and leave the streets filled with decaying mothers who would gladly shed their skin to save their children. Here we stack bodies on top of one of the other, using Glade and Lysol to smother not only the smell, but the memory of those who people were before us. We've become experts of identity theft, stealing away any layer of truth that they have left until lie is all they can become. In this city, war spelled backwards is raw. And that's what you get. Beaten raw until even the blood is so infested with this pestering idea of bad morals. But you politicians must prefer oral because some rules were meant to be bent, broken, leave women choking, burn the bush smoking, take the gun, use the knife just to try to survive in the war that thrives on us. I don't boast sweet, but damn do I preach. A penny for your help, $1 for your ideas, because I can't keep going without sleep, knowing the new locks on my door aren't enough to protect me from the sores this nation has caused me. Instead of speaking on a resolution or a better solution to a problem you caused, slept away from the podium and the mic, come with me. Window watch the sad movie of the American life. I have never seen a more replaceable human being than an African American, never seen a more broken human being than a Mexican, never seen a more despised human than an Asian, or jealous creature than a white. In this place, we kill not for the sake of the greater good, but for the sake of our blood, and try to portray it as a goddamn civil war. Outsiders looking in to call us cannibals, and we can't defend our sense of pride without telling a lie. We sell gold only for a land bridge that will burn to the ground, and then only more bodies will surround this already desolate place. There is a war going on in my city, and man am I tired. I am afraid of being left behind to die. The war in my city wasn't caused by the terrorists, but by the Congressional House who used their sins as a cover-up. This was and will not be overcome until we stand up. I am already on my feet. Been this way since I was 14, and I'm not sitting down. Stand up with me and let's hold our ground. I refuse to lose a battle with my head down. Thank you.